Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you are on this insidious planet. Now, this story has been running uh, basically since 2016, and it is about this man. His name is Felix, who was expelled from his university, Sheffield University, after posting something on Facebook. Quite frankly, Facebook is proving to be, is it worth it? Is it worth even trying to have any discussions on that platform? Um, because it's, clearly there are insidious people on that platform, people who are on the left, depraved people, um, basically bastards, total and utter complete bastards. And this guy here um, lost the initial case and has now won the case after going to appeal. But it's only so that he can get the university to um, redo the case again. So they could possibly he could go back, and they could still say to him, "Sorry, you're not going to come back into the university." What's going to happen then? All that time and money that's been spent to win this case, and Sheffield University could still not let him back into the university. In that case, if they do that, they're going to have to start coughing up a lot of money um, because it's unacceptable. But then the trouble is, if the courts have given them the directives based on their recommendation on how they should redo the case, and they do come to the same conclusion, and then he goes back to appeal again, he could lose the case because, we corrected Sheffield University on their original procedure, and we've looked at it again. The procedure was correct this time, and we now agree with them. Um, what the initially reason why I'd given, had told you to leave. Well, we didn't agree with their procedure, so I don't know how this is really a win in the long term. I initially was thinking, great, Christians have won again. This is fantastic. But since I saw a um, a Christian baker in America, he won one case against a gay couple, but guess what? He's back in court again, another case with a transsexual who wanted the same thing put on his case. So this guy's now being harassed consistently um, because, I mean, what will be next? A bisexual couple will come along and ask, and so on and so on, because they want to destroy his business, they want to ruin his business. This guy Felix went to court. Um, as I read more and more and understood, as much as it seems like a win, it can only really truly be a win if Sheffield University, you know, allow him back into university to finish his course, or they might offer him an out of court settlement so he doesn't come back to the university. Say, look, here's I don't know what 200,000. We don't want you back here. Going out you get lost. Um, just don't know. So a devout Christian was thrown off his university course for posting that homosexuality was a sin, has won an appeal court against the decision, but only for it to go back for them to look at it again under the guidance of the judicial system. So he could still be flung out again. So Felix, 39, was removed from a postgraduate social work course at the University of Sheffield in 2016 after posting the Facebook comment. judges overturned a previous court ruling and said the university should reconsider his case. So there you go. So they're gonna come to the same conclusion again, unless they don't want this to go to court because it's going to cost the university money. Let's see what happens. Anyway, the university said it was considering its response to the judgment. He's from Barnsley, had argued that throwing him out breached his rights to freedom of speech and thought. He said he had been expressing a traditional Christian view that the Bible and the God identify homosexuality as a sin. His comments were made during a debate. This is a debate on Facebook. As I said, why are you wasting your time on Facebook? Facebook is it's full of shit. You should be looking at other platforms, Minds, Gab, BitChute. All these other. There's beginning to see an emergence of other platforms out there about Kim Davis, a state official in the U.S. state of Kentucky, who refused to register same-sex marriages. So, this is the reason why the homosexual community, the LGBT community, is fighting Christians, because Christians, they want to be able to say, right, I'm a devout Christian. I don't believe in so-called gay marriage. It is between the man and woman, blah, blah, blah. So, but the trouble is, if it's in a the way I look at it now is if it's in a registry office, it's a government office, and therefore those marriages they're not based in religion. They're based on a union, a contract between two people, so that they, if they divorce or they split later on, it means that they can then negotiate how they're going to split everything up in a hopefully an orderly manner, decent manner. But as well, it is a contract. That's what it is. It's a contract. That's why so many men lose out on this marriage contract. Once they realise that it's marriage is a waste, but it's too late by that time. So anyway, some months later, he was anonymously reported to the university and was disciplined in a fitness to practice hearing. What is this fitness to practice? I mean, is that something that's an ongoing thing when you're doing social work while you're at university, so that they test your fitness or mental status, I suppose? I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, or was this just a one-off because of the statement that he'd made? The university said he was taking a professionally qualifying degree with the aim of becoming a social worker, and argued what he had said would affect gay people he might work with. How will that affect him? What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, that just doesn't make sense. I mean, as long as you're not going to do anything physical to a gay man, if you have those views, doesn't mean that you hate that person. It just means that, following the teachings of the Bible, that is what it says in the Bible. It doesn't necessarily mean that some Christians don't think it's right. But if they're a devout Christian, they will follow that. Some Christians do believe it's right, and they're devout, and they will follow that, the teachings. But especially today, there is no sort of comeback from it. It doesn't mean that they're not going to, especially a Christian, not going to work with a. Of course, they will. They could become buddies, good friends, but well, not could. There's a lot of Christians and gay people who are friends and differ on their ideology, but they're still good friends. So this is just nonsense. The university said, so read that. So I think that's really outrageous. argued what he had said would affect gay people he might work with. Jesus Christ! I mean, there's a huge proportion of people now who are gay and are coming out gay everywhere in society. Gay people have got to learn now. It's not to be able to work with everybody, same as heterosexuals have got to learn to work with everybody, and transsexuals, etc., etc. You know, because you've got a different a religious view, doesn't mean that you're going to be discriminatory to a homosexual person. It just doesn't. So he took his case to the High Court in 2017, but lost it there. Again, probably from a lesbian feminist judge, ruled that university bosses had acted within the law. So at his appeal hearing, judges ruled in his favour, stating that the disciplinary proceedings were flawed and unfair, and said Mr. Felix's case should be heard by another FTP hearing. So this is all it's about. He hasn't, he's not been reinstated. He'll have another FTP, and it will be ruled against him again. Unless they decide, look, we can't afford to really go back to court on this. Let's just give him, hopefully they'll say, let's just call it a day on it and let him have his degree and get rid of him. So he's not. But these people are vindictive, nasty. He said, as Christians, we are called to serve others and to care for everyone. Yet, publicly and privately, we must also be free to express our beliefs and what the Bible says without fear of losing our livelihoods. Absolutely correct. A university twat said it supported the rights of students to hold and debate a range of views and beliefs if it conforms to their belief system. Because many of these university professors are atheists and non-Christians, and are really just nasty and depraved. You've heard all the stories in the past that many of them, have relationships with their students. They don't care. These people are left-leaning, vile, nasty creatures. Don't waste your money at university. You don't need to be proven to go to university. It really isn't. You don't need it. Elon Musk says, don't bother bringing your university degree to him. Bring yourself and present yourself to him. That's what he wants. He wants to see your skills, not that piece of arsewipe paper. However, for students studying on courses that lead to professional registration, we have a responsibility to look at how any concerns raised could impact a student's fitness to practice once registered. Was this all explained in detail on a regular basis? Was he told that if you put things on Facebook, which has nothing to do with the university, in private, in your home, that this would have impact on whether you get a degree? Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I fear for Christians. The LGBTQ and the feminist movement are gunning for the Christian faith. They want to destroy it. This is now time when Christians are, I believe, by God, allowed to lift up that flaming sword to defeat some of these evil creatures, and cut them down. Christians have got to start fighting back. Simple as that. Anyway, If you like the video, please give me some likes and share the video. Thanks very much for listening.